What is going on, guys? Nexas here, and welcome back to Destiny 2. And in today's video, guys, we are back again with more dungeon goodiness to go over. The Vespers host dungeon is arrived, obviously on Friday reset, and I will say that it's honestly a banger dungeon first off, so I would definitely give it a shot if you have access to it. But normal mode is up, meaning you can go in and get yourself some brand new weapons, and honestly, the weapons are just absolute bangers. I'm not gonna lie, some of these weapons are just insane. And one of the weapons we're gonna look at today is gonna be the VS Velocity Baton. Now, I will say this straight off the rip, this is probably one of the best weapons to get from this dungeon. It is absolutely freaking nuts. Maybe if you get this specific role, so you can kind of see I do have the attrition orbs demolitionist. This role in particular is just absolutely freaking broken. I'm not gonna lie, it's so insane PvE. If you have any sort of build that is good for obviously orb generation or does well off picking up orbs of power, so for HP, for ability gains, this is going to be the perfect weapon. This generates so much orbs when there's a high enemy density in the game because it's just insane. The attrition orbs on this absolutely freaking nuts. There is other roles you can get in this, so you can get things like stabilizing grounds, you can get bait and switch, you can get other roles as well in terms of reverberation and everything. But when it comes to the goat role, I will definitely say this is going to be the best role you can actually get. It's freaking nutty, and it also does have the Bray Legacy too, so damage with this weapon generates a small amount of ability energy for the one closest to a full charge. So overall, this is just the most utility PvE weapon that I could say is there. It looks like a flashlight as well. We all know what I'm trying to say. It looks like a flashlight. Yeah, it looks like a freaking flashlight, especially when you go in and just like zooms back. Yep, flashlight it is. With the velocity button, as I said, this thing absolutely freaking broken PvE. I would definitely say that it's going to get changed a little bit, but we're going to showcase exactly how broken it is. We're going to actually go in with a grenade launcher build sort of as well, because I have demo and attrition. If I spec into, of course, getaway artist with grenade kickstart and maybe like innovation or whatever, I will be constantly getting some good freaking ability gains. I should basically have a grenade nearly every 10 seconds. It's gonna be nutty. But yeah, PvP wise, this isn't gonna be anything amazing, so we're just gonna try this out in some PvE. So without further ado, let's go in with the velocity button. Alrighty, so we're gonna be doing some onslaught, of course, with our baton itself and everything. And this is, as I said, gonna be so freaking, like, you see, I generated 2 orbs there, I think 3 orbs there nearly with freaking 1 shot. As I said, the attrition orbs on this is just, it's just crazy how many freaking orbs you can make. Like, look at the freaking kill feed. I'm just constant making orbs with this thing. Look at it go. Oh, this thing is, I don't know if they're gonna do like some internal cooldown for this, but it's pretty hella broken. Like, look at my super energy already. Obviously it was charged a little bit at the start when there's a little bit of downtime, but for the most part this is just gonna be insane end game in terms of builds and whatnot. Just being able to generate so many freaking orbs and using, like, I obviously have the armor charge on, but if I do something like this and then use it, obviously I'll get a bunch of energy back with the kickstart I've got on, and then I can just generate more orbs so I can get my inverneration going, whatever that perk was called. But look at the amount of orbs I'm making. Oh, it's so juicy. This is just like, this particular role as well, whatever about the demo, I will just say though, this particular role, oh, that's how I died. With this particular role in general, in terms of the attrition orbs, it's a must get for PvE, guys. If you're an endgame sort of enthusiast, you're gonna have to get your hands on this because it's just so juicy. Like, look at that. Just a free orb just for shooting a rock or a freaking grenade launcher at someone. And of course, it does like mad good damage too. I mean, these things are really good, obviously, for area denial, but they actually do some decent damage. So it's not like I'm using this and thinking, oh, I can't use that. What the? I didn't get a freaking radiant going. What? Oh, we shocked. We freaking shocked. Okay, I got him. But yeah, the damage on this isn't bad either. It's not like I'm using this like at the detriment of using something with higher DPS, whatever. These actually can do a ton of damage if you actually spray it at the feet and everything. So against the boss like this as well, let's see how many orbs they generate. Give me the orbs, buddy. Give me the orbs. There's 2. There's 3 orbs. Oh, it's so stupidly good. I love this weapon so goddamn much. This is gonna be one of the must uses for PvE, and the thing is, you can upgrade this even more by putting it on like a Grafalcon Hunter, because obviously this is a Volatiles or a Void weapon. So you put this on a Void Hunter with Grafalcons on, or Spirit of Grafalcons, whatever you want to say, and you're gonna just cook in freaking PvE. This thing is just, it's all sorts of broken. I'm not gonna lie. I honestly do think because it's so good right now, they might eventually stick it with an internal sort of cooldown. So in this weapon, attrition orbs has like, I don't know, maybe it only procs once off per shot or whatever. I hope they don't because this is dope, but I could see it happening because this is very strong. Alrighty, time to farm some more orbs because apparently I'm just the orb generation machine. This is actually going to be really good for your bounties as well. The ones that were it's like, oh, generate a bunch of orbs. Do I have volatile on? I don't think I do. But you, oh my god, these stupid ass goddamn freaking turret thingies. Oh my god, I hate the shell so much. The drop pods always get me killed in this goddamn freaking PvE scenario. You know what though? We farmed a bunch of orbs over there. I should probably pop my supers to kind of showcase how much you can actually kind of like farm orbs and just keep on spamming them and everything, because as I said, you can see on the floor there's so many different orbs kind of proccing in. So if you have a build that's built around orbs generation, obviously picking up orbs of power, this is going to be a really sweet build, because you can kind of see it just absolutely freaking cooks. And especially when there's like a lot of enemies and like ammo to kind of shoot at. I mean, I'm just generating so many orbs. This is just like on an orb farm. I honestly, I would honestly, if I see this like in PvP or whatever, or seen someone doing this, I'd honestly be thinking they're cheating, because the amount of freaking orbs I'm generating right now is kind of insane. One thing I will say too is that the weapon honestly looks really dope as well. It's not like it's just obviously utility great. I mean, not even just great, it's insane utility wise, but it also looks really dope. And I know obviously in Dawnslot, I'm probably going to be getting, not lucky, but because of the way enemies spawn and everything like that, you can kind of see I'm able to just truck it at their feet and kill them all. But I still do think that in the end game, this is going to be really useful, especially with demo and everything on it. It's going to be really useful in certain scenarios to like just get a bunch of kills or get your energy kind of regens going. You see, I already have my super again. So it's just going to be such a good sort of battery sort of weapon. It's more as well that when you use this sort of weapon, you can legit just shoot and ignore. So I can just do stuff like this, shoot, and then obviously it's going to do a ton of damage. And then I can start going in with something else, and then I can obviously come back to this. One thing I will say, and oh, I'm going to die here. Oh, we got to remember, drop pod. What? How does that hit me? I've died 3 times to drop pods already. How does that hit me at all? I even thought I was going to get hit by it, so I was like, you know what? I'm going to freaking like expect this, and I still get absolutely blasted by it. Oh, get out of my freaking swamp, boys. Get away from the swamp. But yeah, the one thing I will say is that I would have loved to have had all loading. I mean, demo was great. Demo's like insane, actually, to be honest. So you do have to kind of like consume it or whatever, use your grenades to kind of get those reloads going. But for the most part, I still do think that it's still going to be great, even with the without all loading holster, especially with the mods this season 2. There's one, you can kind of see it on the left if I don't have so many freaking buffs going. But there is a mod I have on that basically, if I get a bunch of hits with a grenade, it improves the next grenade launcher sort of reload and everything. So there is that going for it too. You put on a bunch of void loaders as well if you really are inclined, but for the most part, guys, you don't really need that much because it's still really dope with, of course, the mods. And oh, we got some husks, boys. You know, we're gonna pop a grenade real quick, and then we're gonna do this. The one thing I will say as well, I don't know why it's not more purpley. Maybe they didn't want the effects to be too overbearing on the screen, but this is a void weapon, so I am doing void weapon, but it kind of looks like the stasis sort of lost signal. Look at the amount of orbs of this generating. Oh, welcome to my orb farm. It's not much, but it's honest work, guys. It's honest freaking work. just sits there and everyone just gets burned alive. Look at the amount of orbs that are over here just from me alone. Oh, this weapon is just, it's insane. It's honestly just so freaking dope. Alrighty, final boss time, of course, with the baton itself. And this thing is just, it's kind of nutty, I'm not gonna lie. Especially with all the different sorts of builds and stuff you can get going with it. I mean, I honestly can't tell you a better weapon at the moment to try to get from this dungeon than this one. I mean, the grenade launcher is pretty sick as well. So you will have that too. But for the most part, this is just insane. You can actually spam it with this because technically the bird is my grenade. So technically I'm gonna spam the grenade launcher like this and just, oh, freaking shook it, please. But technically you can kind of spam the burb, and of course it will reload your weapon with the demos. Obviously there's a little bit of a cooldown on it, but for the most part you're gonna spam it out like that. But I'm telling you right now, this must get, as much as I was kind of hyping up the auto rifle yesterday, this is legit the best freaking weapon I've used in quite some time PvE when it comes to like a grenade launcher and stuff. This is honestly revolutionary, this freaking build. This is nuts. Well, that is it for me. And of course, the velocity baton itself, as I said, the baton weapon, it's just an absolutely broken sort of weapon PvE. I haven't used something this fun in PvE in terms of orb generation in quite some time. And I just say that with the attrition orbs, it's kind of nutty. Obviously, the demolitionist is a really good bonus to it as well, especially with the Bray Legacy Ardent Shape. But this attrition orb roll in general, this thing, it makes this baton just insane PvE. I would not be surprised if Bungie actually put like an internal timer on attrition orbs on this weapon, because the amount of orbs you generate is just, it's kind of nuts, especially with obviously the high density sort of onslaught playlist. Obviously I can just spam the floor and I get so many orbs going, but overall this is 120,000% worth going into the dungeon for. As I said, I kind of hyped the auto rifle up and everything, and grenade launcher, or the heavy grenade launcher could be nice as well, or the fusion. But as far as loot goes, the baton, this thing is a must get for PvE, guys. If you like PvE or you've run endgame PvE, this is going to be one of the best weapons to go in with. I know it is void, so it's in that sort of slot where people use graviton, sunshots, or a lot of other weapons, and you could obviously still use lost signal in that top slot. But for the most part, this is just insane for orb generation. So for certain builds, this is just going to be absolutely cracked out. I didn't even have the mods on. There is some like juicy mods you can put on, like the synergy one. So final blows have a chance to create an elemental pickup matching its damage type, so you can make void pickups or whatever. Grenade launchers are stunning overload champs this season as well, so still know that will work. There is a couple of mods you could probably throw on that will make this even better, but overall, the velocity baton, one of the most broken legendaries I've used in quite some time. This thing is just absolutely freaking nuts when it comes to build crafting. As I said, build crafting with this thing is just gonna be absolutely out of its freaking mind. It's just... it's so good. It's so beautiful. And you could throw on a hunter as well with Kervakens. Get yourself some volatile. Oh man, this thing is just, it's all hell as a freaking nutty. But regardless, if you like the video, show us a like, and you need some more content, subscribe, and fantastic day. And hopefully I'll see you in the next collective in the next one.